Hello guys, in today's video, I would like to discuss about the beginner guide for Mongil STARDIVE. The timestamps are available in case you would like to skip to a certain part. Starting with the reroll guide, so you reroll in Mongil STARDIVE. Short answer, not really. Why? That is because you need approximately 15 to 20 minutes to unlock the gacha feature. And since this game already provides you with 2 starter banner, new expedition and the new friend banner. While the new expedition banner might become a reason for you to reroll, since it is a beginner banner that guarantees a random 5-star standard character after 20 draws, and it could also give you 2 random 5-star characters if you get lucky. However, the new friends banner on the other hand become the reason you don't need to reroll, since it is a starter banner with a selector feature that allows you to choose exactly which character you want to draw and get them within 50 pulls. Lastly, since we need at least 1 reliable DPS for each element, eventually anyone you get can be useful for you. However, if you still want to reroll because you prefer a meta tier character over a random 5-star from the new expedition banner, I highly recommend aiming for G1 or Flare. G1 is currently the only 5-star support on the standard banner, and support characters are usually more future-proof, less prone to power creep, and more importantly, she is suitable for providing buff, wind affliction, and crowd control to support Esther. On the other hand, Flare is the only available 5-star destroyer, while destroyers are very necessary when facing bosses to quickly fill their stagger gauge. Since this game allows you to switch between easy and recommended difficulty at any times, I suggest switching to easy mode if you are rerolling to speed up your story progression. Also, make sure to check the video's description below to redeem the active codes in here so you can claim all the codes and beginner rewards the moment the gacha feature is unlocked. Progressing your account quickly is important for unlocking the limited time event, which feature their own limited time event shop, and to unlock weekly endgame content like Conquest and Dimensional Rift. Additionally, it is also necessary to unlock higher difficulty farming stages as soon as possible, so you can spend your stamina more efficiently for better rewards. During the early game, make sure to never claim stamina rewards from any source because you need to prevent your stamina from hitting the capacity and overflowing. Once your stamina overflows, the stamina regeneration becomes so much slower, causing you to losing out on free stamina over time. Therefore, whenever you find your stamina in an overflow state, make sure to always spend enough to get back below the capacity limit. The best way to spend your stamina in early game is to spend it on the event stages as soon as you have unlocked the event page. However, after you have unlocked Path, you can shift your focus to farming character XP while steadily progressing the event stages. As for the rest, I recommend only farming as needed. For example, once your character or artifact reaches its level capacity and needs breakthrough, then you can farm for the required breakthrough materials. In the beginning, you can simply focus on leveling your character and using whatever Monsterling and equipment you have for the early story progression. As for the artifact, always make sure to match the artifact type to the character's specific role and element, or you can simply press the equip recommended button to automatically equip their signature artifact in case you have it in your inventory. If you want to build Monsterling, every Monsterling you capture always comes with a random amount of useful traits based on its grade. The higher Nyanko's level, the better chance you have to obtain a higher grade of Monsterling when you capturing them. However, you need to capture more monster in order to level up your Nyanko. Regarding Monsterling trait, you can modify those traits through combining feature. By combining 2 Monsterling of the same type, you are guaranteed to get the same species back, but with new random traits and a chance to upgrade its rarity. Alternatively, you can combine 2 different types of Monsterling However, the result is 50-50 split between the two parent types, again with randomized traits and a potential of rarity increase. You can also aim for a mutation by following the specific mutant recipes. Keep in mind that mutation only happen based on a certain probability. However, once you successfully discover a new mutation, the recipe is saved on your mutation page, making it easy to reproduce later in case you need more. So there are many ways to have fun when it comes to collecting Monsterling, but can I try to combine different grades of Monsterling? Of course not, because in the worst case, you might obtain a lower grade of Monsterling instead. When combining Monsterling, you can also lock their useful traits by using this material. Lastly, the most important thing about Monsterling is the link chain. Only by activating the link chain, you can summon them in combat when specific trigger conditions are met. Additionally, you can enhance the link chain to upgrade the monster damage. Regarding team building, at the beginning, you will need at least one high performance team to clear the early story progression. There are 4 kinds of character roles you can use to make a team, such as Fighter, Assassins, Destroyer, and Support. Fighter are usually excels in all kinds of combat like daily farming, general exploration, and clearing stages with large group of enemies. This is because their damage will increase based on the amount of nearby enemies and teammates, while Assassins usually have higher burst DPS due to their capabilities of dealing higher damage to enemies or bosses afflicted by crowd control debuff like Airborne, Knockback, Staggered, or Knockdown. So, whenever the enemy get any crowd control debuff, that is the most crucial moment for an assassin to show up. Next is Destroyer role, the most effective role for charging the enemy's stagger gauge, which make them very necessary when facing bosses, especially in endgame mode like Conquest and Dimensional Rift. Lastly is Support, a very necessary class to be included in every team to provide healing, shield, buff, and debuff. Since you can only bring 3 characters in a team, the most basic team composition you can make is a main DPS, a Destroyer, and a Support. For the main DPS, you can go with either a Fighter or an Assassin. If your Fighter can also apply crowd control debuff to assist an Assassin, then you can also make a team consisting of a Fighter, an Assassin, and a Support. Lastly, if possible, you should aim for a mono-element team, especially when your character has the ability to buff specific elemental damage or inflict specific elemental affliction on enemy. That is because an elemental affliction can reduce the enemy's elemental resistance based on the affected element, which can later be exploited by your teammate to further improve their damage if they are dealing the same type of element. My last tips are: add more active friends to get additional daily stamina. Always remember that you can adjust your difficulty setting at any time you want from here. Lastly, make sure to complete the Oz puzzle to get scroll from this young lady, which later can be exchanged for a permanent stamina extension. You can check how many hidden chests and Oz puzzles are available in each area by looking at the map tracker right here. Alright, I think that's all for now. Stay tuned for more MONGIL STARDIVE content. Thank you for watching, see you next time, cheers!